All right, today we're diving deep into the mathematics of trust. We're going to unpack exactly what a digital signature is, how it works, and maybe most importantly, why this beautifully simple idea is one of the pillars of our entire secure modern world.
It really comes down to a question that's as old as civilization itself. How do you sign a contract, or send an order, or seal a treaty, and give the other person absolute, undeniable proof that it came from you and that it hasn't been changed? It's a fundamental problem of trust, and today we don't solve it with wax and rings, we solve it with pure, elegant math.
So to really get the digital stuff, let's first take a step back, way back. Just imagine a king sending a decree across his kingdom. He rolls up this scroll, melts some wax, and presses his royal signet ring right into it. Now think about it. The point of that seal was never privacy. Anyone could just break the seal and read the message. The seal's only job was to prove two things: who sent it, and that no one had opened it and messed with the words inside. It was all about identity, not secrecy.
And this, right here, gets to the heart of a huge, super common point of confusion. If you get one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this distinction. Encryption is all about secrecy. It's like putting your message in a locked box so no one can read it. Signing, on the other hand, is about authenticity. It's like carving your name on the outside of that box to prove it's yours. They're two totally different goals.
This chart just lays it all out perfectly. With encryption, your goal is secrecy, hiding the content. And the tool you use is a public key, the one you give out to everyone, which locks the message. It answers the question, can anyone else read this? But with authentication, the goal is totally different. It's proving who you are. And the tool, which is kind of counterintuitive, is your private key, the one you guard with your life, to seal the message. It answers a much different question: did this really come from you?
Okay, so if a digital signature is our modern-day wax seal, what's the actual wax made of? Well, the first ingredient is this really fascinating mathematical tool called a hash. So let's break that down.
You can think of a hash function as being kind of like a wood chipper for data. You can throw anything in there: a single word, a 500-page book, even an entire movie, and it just grinds it all down and spits out this short, unique, fixed-length string of text. That output, that's the data's digital fingerprint. And here's the key: it's a one-way street. It's like you can turn a tree into sawdust, but you can't turn that sawdust back into the tree. It just doesn't work. Same thing with a hash. You can't reverse it.
Now, for this whole digital fingerprint idea to be something we can rely on, it needs to have three absolutely critical properties. First, like we said, it's one way. You can't unscramble the egg. Second, it's deterministic. This just means the same document will always, and I mean always, give you the exact same hash, every single time. And third, it's collision resistant. It is, for all practical purposes, mathematically impossible for two different documents to accidentally create the same hash.
But here's where it gets really cool. This is the magic trick that makes it perfect for checking if something's been tampered with. It's called the Avalanche Effect. What this means is if you change just one tiny thing, add a comma, change one letter from lowercase to uppercase, the hash doesn't just change a little bit, it changes completely. It's an avalanche of change. Let me just show you.
Okay, look at this simple sentence. The document is authentic. We run it through a hash function, and boom, we get this unique fingerprint, this hash. It starts with 5A2C. Got it? Now watch. All we're going to do is capitalize the letter I in the word is. A tiny, almost invisible change. And look at the new hash. It's not even close. It's a completely different, totally unrecognizable string, now starting with 9F8E. That is the avalanche effect. It makes even the smallest change scream out at you. So we have this perfect, unique, tamper-proof fingerprint that proves the message hasn't been altered. But it doesn't prove who sent it. We have the wax, but we still need the king's ring to stamp it. So now we need to actually forge the signature. And we do that by sealing this digital fingerprint with our identity. And here is the big aha moment, the part that flips everything you thought you knew about encryption on its head. Normally, to send a secret message to someone, you lock it with their public key. But to sign a message as yourself, you take the hash of the document, that fingerprint, and you encrypt it with your very own private key. That little chunk of encrypted data, that is the digital signature. All right, let's put it all together. Let's walk through the whole dance step by step. So, step 1, you, the sender, take your document and run it through a hash function to create that one-of-a-kind fingerprint. Step 2, you then encrypt only that hash using your own private key. This encrypted hash is the signature, and you just attach it to the original document. Step 3. The person who gets it uses your public key, which is freely available, to decrypt the signature. What's revealed? The original hash you created. And now, step 4, the moment of truth. They take the document you sent them and run it through the same hash function themselves. If the hash they just made perfectly matches the hash they got from your signature, it is mathematical proof. It came from you, and it hasn't been changed by so much as a single comma.
So what does this whole elegant process actually give us? It results in this incredibly powerful concept, a legal and mathematical guarantee that has a very specific, very important name. It's called non-repudiation. And that's just a formal way of saying you cannot, under any circumstances, deny having sent that message. You can't repudiate it. Why? Because the only key in the entire universe that could have created that signature is your private key. You are cryptographically tied to that message forever. It really is the digital version of a king pressing his seal into the wax on a treaty. It is an unbreakable, undeniable promise.
And what this creates is something called a trustless system. Now that sounds bad, right? But it's actually the opposite. It means you don't have to trust the person sending the email. You don't have to trust the network it traveled over. The only thing you have to put your faith in is the math. The math itself becomes the judge, the impartial referee of what's true.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This exact process is the bedrock of huge parts of our digital lives. It's what makes every single transaction on a blockchain secure. It's how your computer knows for sure that a software update is from Microsoft or Apple and not some virus in disguise. It is the very heart of how we prove who we are online.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. As we enter a world where artificial intelligence can generate perfectly realistic fake video, fake audio, fake text, these things we call deepfakes, how are we going to know what's real anymore? As it gets harder and harder to trust our own eyes and ears, could it be that this kind of unbreakable mathematical proof is our last and maybe our only real defense for what is true?